you first.
Well, I'm Doug Kelly, and I'm Connor's dad.
And I'm Connor, and I'm the awesome one. I am a 15-year-old boy, well, man, at Foster Ridge High School. I'll be a sophomore next year. I am a football manager, a track manager, and I'm working on my Eagle Scout project. My final project is the R-word campaign, which is to get rid of the word retard and retarded because it's hurtful to people with intellectual disabilities and their friends and family.
We actually heard about SYC the first time at our church. There was a kiosk set up in the family hallway out there, the family meeting area, and SYC had a booth set up. And actually, I didn't see it at first. My wife saw it, and she came over and she said, you have to come over and check this out. She said, we have this hunting program that Connor could do. And I said, really? So I went over and I talked to the folks there, and they explained what the concept of SYC was. And we really liked the idea, and so I asked Connor if he wanted to get involved, and of course he was really excited. And
who doesn't want to shoot anything?
So we made a couple of appointments, and we got Connor into his first elk hunt, and we've been involved with them. Connor has been as a hunter for a little over 3 years now.
Probably my favorite SYC moment would have to be my very first turkey hunt, because it was a beautiful morning, and what happened is that the turkey walked around our blind and poked his head out. The turkey was like really close to our blind that you could almost touch it.
That's true.
And what happened is that he pecked the corn, and we timed it. Our guide Mike and I timed it. It was peck, 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 look, peck, 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 look, peck, 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 bam. And then I shot my first turkey, and it was awesome.
Well, the special memory, of course, for me has to be the first hunt that we went on, which was the elk hunt up on the McGregor Ranch up by Estes Park. And we had been out all morning long and hadn't seen a single thing. And being Connor's first hunt, there was a little bit of frustration that I think he anticipated he was going to see elk all over the place and he was going to get one immediately. And so it was that introduction to, you know, even though these are better hunting conditions than probably most people get to deal with, you're still dealing with wildlife here. And they go where they want to go. So we went back to the lodge and had a nice fellowship and a nice lunch, and we all took a nap, and we got up in the early afternoon, and we were driving out in the truck, and before we got there, Connor says, okay, he goes, guys, before we get out of the truck, we need to say a prayer. Everybody says, this is great. Yeah, okay, go ahead. So Connor says, God, thanks for this beautiful place, and please help me kill an elk. Everybody said, okay.
It was short and simple.
We got out of the truck, and as soon as we got out of the truck, there was a herd of probably 40 to 45 cows making their way down the mountainside coming our direction. So we all scrambled to get inside of the blind and get everything set up. So we're inside the blind, and you can imagine Connor's anticipation, but they weren't really in range. They were too far out, over 300 yards. And 300 yards was going to be our absolute maximum shot. We really wanted them to be around 200. And the elk were meandering down the hillside, and then they started to turn towards the northwest and move away from us, and we thought, we're not going to get a shot here. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this driving windstorm, a snowstorm, that was blowing back towards us. And I mean, it was blowing hard, this snow. And it turned the herd around, and these two cows broke away from the herd and started walking down towards us, of course walking away from the wind-blown snow. And the cow that Connor ultimately ended up shooting got within, I think it was like 270, 280 yards, something like that. It was a long shot for his first time. But he got all lined up on her, and then we couldn't see through the hood of the video camera because the snow was coming down directly at us, and it was all over the lens of the scope. So I'm reaching out through while Connor's sitting here, and I'm pulling the snow out so we can see, and it's all foggy. You can see the crosshairs, and you can kind of see the outline of the elk, and she's continuing to move, and I'm thinking to myself, I didn't say this out loud to Connor, but I'm thinking, we're going to lose this opportunity. She is going to keep on walking, and we don't have a clear shot through this fogged up scope. And then all of a sudden, the wind and the snow and absolutely everything completely stopped. The lens cleared up. Connor had this perfect crosshair on her, and he got her. And as soon as he shot her, the snow and the wind started up again. And I'm thinking,
Oh my gosh.
well, I'm thinking, thank you God for that opportunity, because
Me
it was our
too.
first time, and I really wanted him to be successful, and he was. He was walking on cloud nine. That's my favorite story. Sign up. It's an absolutely wonderful opportunity. If you're even remotely thinking about it, do it. It's an opportunity for guys like Connor and the other guys that likely they're not going to have an opportunity to do without the assistance of what SYC provides. So yeah, absolutely, do it. It's a wonderful experience.
Don't hesitate and sign the heck up.